Let's make flounder get fancy with a delicious crab stuffing. I'm taking the humble flounder and transforming it into a luxurious dish stuffed with succulent crab meat, then baking it to golden perfection. Hi everyone, welcome to today's episode of Let's Celebrate TV. I'm your host, Peter Lee. Today, we're celebrating an old classic that everyone loves. We're making crab stuffed flounder. I have here a saute pan. I'm going to put this over medium heat. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. To the olive oil, I'm going to add some butter. I have here 4 tablespoons, but I only need 2 of them. We're just going to add them in right now. And we're going to save these other 2 for later. I just want these butter and oil to melt down and get combined. Now, it's time to start adding some more flavors. We're going to start with some bell pepper. I have about a half a bell pepper that I finely diced. I have orange today. You can use whatever color you like. Next up is shallot. Now, I love shallots. It's kind of a cross between onion and garlic. Right in our pan. We want to add a little crunch and a little depth of flavor, a little sweetness. And we're going to get that, believe it or not, from celery. I have here about a quarter of a celery stalk that I finely diced. That may not seem like much, but it's going to give a lot of flavor and crunch. Now I need to add one more little flavor. That is a bay leaf. Right in. Now bay leaf is one of those flavors that when it's not there, you miss it. And you think, what is it that we're missing? It's bay leaf. Let's hit this with some salt and pepper. And we're going to cook this until it's slightly softened and very fragrant. All right, it's starting to get soft, very fragrant. I can smell that shallot and that bay leaf, but we need to add more. We're going to get that from my favorite, garlic. This is 2 cloves that I finely minced on my rasp. Right in. We're going to stir this in. Just let it go another minute or so. It's been a minute. It's smelling wonderful. We need to add a little more. How about some dry white wine? This is 2 ounces, 60 mils of a very dry white wine. Right in. Now we're going to let this cook. I'll give it an occasional stir. And I want to let it cook until the wine evaporates. Because the alcohol will evaporate, but it's going to leave wonderful flavor. It's time to make the stuffing. I have here in my bowl 8 ounces, 226 grams of drained crab meat. Now this is crab meat I got in a can. It's not the super expensive jumbo lump fancy kind. It's regular crab meat because it's going to be a stuffing. It's delicious and this is really all you need. To this, I'm going to add our vegetables that we cooked. They're nice and cooled. Just going to put this right in. Our next ingredient is, believe it or not, mayonnaise. I have a very generous tablespoon of mayonnaise. This is going to add some creaminess and richness that the crab is really going to need. Right in. Now let's add a little color and a little freshness. We're going to get that from parsley. This is 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Now I want to add a little acid, a little brightness. You know where I'm going to get that from? Not wine, in this case, lemon. This is just half a lemon, and we're going to add the juice. As always, fresh is best. Now I want to add a little texture and body to this filling. I'm going to do that with breadcrumbs. This is 4 ounces or about 70 grams of seasoned breadcrumbs. Now to make this all come together, we just need to add 1 egg that I've slightly beaten. And of course, finally, we need to add some salt and pepper. Now we can mix this to combine. Let's talk fish. I have here 4 beautiful flounder fillets. Now you may notice that one looks a little different from the other, and that's because it's the same fish. This is the bone side, this is the skin side. What we want to do is have the stuffing on the skin side because it's not very pretty. And how did I get here? All I did was, these were frozen and I let them thaw in the fridge overnight, and then I patted them dry with paper towels so they weren't too moist. Now I want to season this with salt and pepper on both sides. Up high, so it goes everywhere. My fillets are all seasoned. Now we need to stuff them. And I want to divide the stuffing evenly between the 4 fillets. I'll show you how to do just one. Let's just take a nice scoop right in the center. And we're just going to roll this up. I like to start with the small end, which is where the tail is, and roll it up and fold it just like that. Now I'm just going to put this in my baking dish, just a standard glass baking dish, and I'll do the rest. Here we are, all rolled up. You think we're done? Not quite. Remember that butter I saved earlier? I want to put a little of this on the top of each fillet. It's going to add some richness and flavor and help it stay moist. Doesn't have to be exact. Now I want to give this a little color and a little warmth. I have here regular paprika. You know, it comes in smoked, it comes in hot Hungarian. I like the regular for this. Just a little sprinkle. And next, I have some lemon slices. Going to add a little more acid, that last little bit of brightness, and when lemon cooks, it's going to be delicious. Thinly sliced, right on top. Finally, I need to add a little liquid to the dish. I'm going to get that with white wine. This is the same wine that I used earlier in the stuffing. Just a splash. You don't need to drown it. All right, I'm going to bake these at 375 Fahrenheit, which is 190 Celsius, uncovered, for 20 to 25 minutes, or until the internal temperature is 140 Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees Celsius. Off to the oven. Here we are, out of the oven. Look how pretty these are. Now these baked for about 25 minutes, and then I've been letting them just rest and relax for 5, maybe 10 minutes now. Let's taste this one. Now let's cut into it and see what happens. Wow. Look at that. Now I want to give this just one last little squeeze of lemon before I give it a little taste. Just like that. That stuffing. There's so much flavor. You get crab and lemon and flavor and depth. Has a great texture from those breadcrumbs and the mayonnaise. It's creamy and rich. I think I need a little wine. Now I'm drinking tonight a Sauvignon Blanc, which is exactly the same wine I used in the filling. Here we go. Alrighty, if you like this episode, sign up for our newsletter and get the recipes in your inbox. Then help us grow the channel by hitting that subscribe button, smashing the like button, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss an episode. While we enjoy our dinner, I'd like you to sit back, relax, and watch this episode over here. So until next time, cheers.